Shalom. Shalom. We the real Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out, prophesying His truth and the return of the Heavenly Father. First and foremost, want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, which is the correct name of the Heavenly Father and the Son, who the world ignorantly and willingly calls Jesus, and a bunch of false titles and improper translations, which is not according to scriptures nor facts. And double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that the Most High set up, the prophets that are back today, and double and it's also shalom to all Akim that believe on these scriptures and that do this work, striving to be the hopeful elect. Shalom to them brothers. But basically, this by y'all from the gym at Chicago camp. I want to go into this lesson about some madness, which is not according to scriptures, that came from a scoffer, which a lot of brothers here in Chicago and other cities hopped on right away, because that's what the prophets do. They defend the gospel, they bring good news, they let you know about the destruction, warn the people, tell the people to get right, you know? And that's how it's set up, and that's how it always will be. But I'm gonna make the screen big so you can see what the scoffer said. And this is the scriptures warning us of this too, that there's gonna be scoffers and slanders and people that mock, and the truth. This truth shall be evil spoken. Scripture tell us these things gonna happen, but we defend it. We defenders of the gospel. But basically, he said you can't use Revelation 18 and Isaiah 47 as scriptures to say Babylon is America. You don't know how to read the Bible and are only spewing the same vomit that was taught to you. Now we know there's a group of men, according to scriptures, Jeremiah 3:15 and Amos 3:7, for being two, that the Most High and He deal with His prophets, which are men, and they come from different walks of life. So knowing that, the prophets do have the truth. He can't even fix his mouth to say that. He haven't labored in the truth, nor do he have the spirit dealing with him, man. Just somebody that come with madness, man. No scriptures to back it up and nothing. Just spread madness that the people probably believe in. But we gonna hop right into it and cut it, man. Through the spirit and power, how about Shem out shot? We gonna cut the Isaiah 47 madness first. And Lord willing, get to Revelation 18. I hope this last satisfying. But he also reads on and say Isaiah 47 clearly happened already, which it didn't, and was taken down from actual Babylon. And was taken down from actual Babylon. It was released. And he said when it already happened, when Israel was taken down from actual Babylon and released back to its land as prophesied. How was Isaiah 47 referring to America when the first Babylon didn't even conquer Judah yet? Now he don't understand nothing, man, because you read the scriptures, man. Judah and Israel, which is the southern kingdom, northern kingdom, went into captivity under different kingdoms, and Babylon was one of them. And Isaiah 47 didn't happen already, man. Whether Israel was released back to their land or not, we not in our land today, man. That was a prophecy that we wasn't gonna be back in our land, man. So, this guy don't know the scriptures, man. None whatsoever. But with that, I'm hop right into it. Exit out of here real quick. And I'm going to go to the Moss Ward. And we're going to start with Isaiah 47. We're going to go there. And we could just read through context and just cut that madness, man, because the context really exposed, man, that the fact that it's not talking about the physical geographical location where Babylon was once known to be over there in the Middle East, in the areas kind of like Iraq, and wherever else they so-called ruled at the time. Just like, you got America, although America is over in America, which is U.S., their military bases are set up in other countries, which in return, you can consider that as Americans' territory, because if they got military base and they can deploy troops there or send nukes from there, or got their democracy set up over there, that's America. Okay? It's just not a physical, geographical location. But hopping in the scripture, man, Isaiah 47, verse 1. Now, like I said, you can use context to cut this madness, but you got to use precepts, because that's how you teach. And through our precepts, we get understanding according to the scriptures. and to the law and to the testimony they speak not according to this word, if there's no light in them. And there's no scriptures, there's no private interpretation of the scriptures. So knowing all these, this is how you're able to break the scriptures down. And the Most High reveal anything, he reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, which happens to come from the elders of great millstone on down. That happens to be the most diligent and fit the scriptures. But this is Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. So that right there, O virgin daughter of Babylon, meaning Babylon had to have an offspring or a daughter. And who would that be? Because this, although it don't say America, they still talk about America, and you're gonna see that through scriptures. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So this the offspring of these kingdoms, Babylon and Chaldees, that once ruled. Now of course they original Babylonians and Chaldees go back to them Africans, man, which come out of the land of Ham, progenitor of the dark races, and not Shem. We over all these other nations, man. But yeah, they be considered as like, the Africans today, man. The Babylonians. But verse 2. With that context, you can cut that off back, man. But I just want to bring the scripture out real quick. It's Isaiah. Jump into 13. Verse 9. Because there's so many ways to cut this, man. And it could be a short lesson, a lengthy lesson, man. There's so many ways to cut this madness because Spirit of Power Habashon Shai confounded with his prophets, man. Because he not going to do it, man. This Isaiah 13:9. Behold, the day of the Lord, Yahweh, which is a true name and not a title, Lord in proper translations, cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. And also, like, I'm jump, and that's true, man. He gonna come destroy the sinners out of it, man. And when you read up, verse 1, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. So this is a prophecy which was revealed unto him, which he prophesied about, and which his scribes wrote about, man. And and it's letting you know what's gonna happen, man. And verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, and the wrath of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. So what can shake the heavens and the earth, man? What's gonna do that? I mean, the presence of the Lord can do it alone, man. He can send one angel to do it alone. He can put the spirit and power on a man here on earth, a holy man, and to do it alone. But this is gonna happen by thermonuclear fire, man, and by the coming of the Lord also. But this mainly talking about the nukes, man. The nukes is gonna shake this place, man. The earth shall rock to and fro like a drunk, as the scriptures shall say. And it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man run to his own people and flee unto his own land. Because a lot of people see that America is crumbling, man. America's going to be destroyed. A lot of people go back to their own lands, man. And then, but when you jump down to verse 19, it says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, how was they overthrown? By fire and brimstone, man. And it wasn't inhabited. Even unto this day, can't nobody go over there and inhabit it. These scientists can't do research. They can't send nothing over there to gather no type of information, samples or specimens, however you want to put it. Why? Because the radiation that's coming off that place, can't nobody go over there. Likewise, here in America, when they get wiped out with ICBM nuclear missile fire, and coming from this World War III, and because it's prophecy, but once America get done like that with 200 missiles, hey, this place is definitely gonna rock to and fro. The earth and the heavens gonna shake, and this place is not gonna be inhabited. It's gonna be desolate. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Because over there in the geographical location of Babylon, over there in Iraq, so-called Middle East, that's where they own them so-called Arabs, which go back to the line of Ishmael. You know, the modern day Arabs. They over there selling and doing all type of wickedness, whatever they doing. And then most of the majority of them men and women over there know who the children, the sons of Israel is, who's the chosen. They know that, man. There's videos on there, the women confessing, and men, and even the so-called devil himself, man. It's 2017, man. Everybody know who the Israelites is, man. It's just not knowing who the chosen of the Lord is. You know, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai's name is not fully magnified, but he will do that by taking down the so-called white man, which is the virgin daughter of Babylon, you know, which never had war on their soil. That's why they call it a virgin. That's why they tender and delicate, because how America prospered off the backs of the slaves, man. And they never really went to war. They just bombed everybody, man. That's the scripture saying in Revelation. Lord willing, I get it. They thought they was going to be a lady forever, man. But the Lord's going to confound them, man. The Lord's going to magnify his name, man. That's how you going to know. Because the Most High's word does not come back void, man. That's what it just boils down to. What he say is going to happen. Now jumping down, verse 2. Take the millstone and grand mill, uncover thy locks, make bare thy leg, uncover thy thigh, pass over the river. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. So the Lord is exposing the so-called white man which rule Babylon today, man. Which is Esau Edom. He ruled Babylon today because America is likened unto Babylon. You know, America is likened unto the Chaldees, the Assyrians, modern day, spiritually, you know, Sodom and Egypt. You know, legalized homosexuality and they promote it on a mass scale, man. And all the elites and the upper ups in the society is with that. They push for it. But knowing that, this place is spiritually called them things. But Babylon, you know, is what we sticking to for this topic's sake, man. The virgin daughter of Babylon, man. This is talk about here in America. And the Lord is exposing this, the devil, man. And I'm finna get some scriptures on how he exposing him, man. Because this devil is being exposed on all levels, man. This Deuteronomy, I'm gonna get the scripture real quick. I'm gonna get Lamentations real quick. Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice, be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup shall pass through unto thee, thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit the iniquity of the daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So the Lord is discovering thy sins, and this man is being exposed through the Spirit and power of Shema Shai on this side, man. You know, but he's gonna go into slavery, man. That's the scripture stating that he's gonna go into slavery. And I just brought that out proving, you know, he's been made bare, man. He's been being made bare, the leg uncovered, the thigh, his nakedness is uncovered, man. This man is being exposed, his skirt is being lifted up. You know, but I'm gonna get this other scripture real quick. This Jeremiah chapter 45. I'll jump to 49. I'm gonna jump to 49, verse 16. Behold, all Jeremiah, so like Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 16. Just basically pulling out scriptures, man, proving and cutting his madness, man. Isaiah 47:16. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and thy pride of thy heart, O thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shalt make as thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith your Lord. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. As Edom shall be a desolation, every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. No man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it. So this is talking about America again, man. Which is America's not there. It said Edom. You know, so-called white man today. When what's his symbol? The eagle. Who's the most prideful? The so-called white man. Who he deceived them, the Israelites and other nations. Who deceiving him? The Lord, because the deceive and the deceived are basically the Lord did it all. He control all the sides, man. You know, and so-called white man is prideful, man. We all know that. And the scripture tell you this is spiritually Sodom in Egypt, man. This is homosexual rampant, running rampant in America, man. You can't even get assistance from America, no aid, if you ain't with that homosexual stuff, man. You know, that's just another scripture proving, man. Because so-called white men rule Babylon today, man. Don't get it twisted. You know, and then I'm going to jump to this other scripture. This, I'm going to jump to, 51. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind. And what's that destroying wind? Coming from them nukes, man. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land with them ICBM nuclear missiles, man. That's gonna make this place rock to and fro, man. These other nations gonna do it. They shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up, and his brigandine, you know, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. So the Lord is letting you know that, hey, Babylon, it ain't gonna say America will be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. You know, who is the bend in the bow, you know, modern day would be the modern day missiles, man. That's what bend in the bow would kind of be likened unto, you know, the fanners, the archers, you know, the destroying wind. That all goes back into them ICBM nuclear missiles, man. And when you just read through these chapters, man, Jeremiah and Isaiah, man, you clearly see that it's referring to another kingdom, because these things have not happened to the physical Babylon over there in Iraq, man. And we read that, you see that, man. The Spirit had to reveal it to you ultimately, man. I'm going to jump back to 50 because it's a point I want to make. 50 verse 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. And it just said the same thing about Esau, Edom. They're going to be astonished and hiss at her plagues, because all the plagues are going to come upon America. As the plagues of Egypt, they're going to come upon America. You know, because the so-called white man is wicked. That's what the scripture says is going to happen. And put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Man. And when the Lord take vengeance, and how will he plead with Isaiah 66 tell you, the Lord will plead with all flesh with fire. I'm going to get it real quick. That's how the Lord going to plead with flesh, man. Because Chris say, and I'm going to jump back to it, he's not going to meet thee as a man. I'm going to jump back to it. Because if he's not going to meet as a man, he's going to destroy this place with fire, man. And I will not meet thee as a man. And how you going to do that, man? Coming with the heavenly host, his son Yahweh Shai, to make this place desolate, man. America. What the Israelites were sold, man, our last captivity. Well, everybody's back in the reincarnation to get that final judgment. All these nations is back, man. And Isaiah chapter 66, 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. And what's his sword, man? There's many things, but the ICBM nuclear missile is the end all be all for this, man. Of course, he got the chariots, the laser missiles, man, and he got many more swords in different fashions, you know, whether it be famine, pestilence, noisome beast, newly created beast. You know, and the Lord is a man of war. He's going to come back, man. The scripture say, think not that I come to send peace, but a sword. So the Lord is coming to do this thing, man. The Lord is coming to break the scriptures say he created the waster to destroy, you know. Basically let you know the most High created the so-called white man to create the nukes. And the so-called white man is the waster, but he's gonna destroy him with the most high's weapon of his indignation, which is them nukes. When you read in Isaiah 13, when you read in Jeremiah, and you just read through the chapters, man, you know, this is talk about another kingdom, man. Although they prophesied against that kingdom, but hey, the Lord's wisdom and words are manifold, man. And we had the scriptures today, because Romans 15:4 will tell you whatsoever things were written aforetime, written for our learning. You know, roughly paraphrasing. And that's what it is. We take heed to these scriptures, man. But I want to jump back into it real quick, man, because man, the point was proven with that, man. The Lord is not going to meet thee as a man. Verse 4, for as our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. And when the Lord redeem us, man, he gonna redeem us by the chariots, man. And Revelations tell you that, man. I'm gonna get it real quick. But we're gonna deliver by them chariots, man. And not one Israelite was delivered by chariots. And the Most High, he just said, I'm not gonna meet thee as a man. When have the Most High came in his glory to visit the earth which he created and brought the judgment and delivered the Israelites and put them in their land, man. The so-called Negroes, Latino Native Americans, because the bastard, so-called white man, the devil is in our land. It's polluted, man. There's still war going on. Pride is still going on. Homosexuality, war, death, and all these things are going to be done away with once the Lord come back. You know, so, hey, man, you know the Lord did not come back as a man, because if he did, hey, it's going to be well known. His name will be magnified, as he said he will magnify it, man. He's going to deliver his elect, man. We're going to be changed, man. None of this never happened, man. So these people are stupid, man. Like, so many ways to cut this. And I just want to jump to Revelation 18, because when you read it, man, basically the so-called white man is going to be destroyed utterly, this land utterly. Nobody's going to inhabit it. They're going to be in darkness and dust and confusion. They're going into slavery along with the other nations that help them. Although the other nations going to be looking far off. And I'm going to just get that, you know. But when you read down, man, it just clearly lets you know, man, the Most High is talking about another kingdom here. Verse 7, thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst thou remember the latter end. They been deceived, man, but the Lord let them know, hey, you ain't gonna be no lady forever, man. You're gonna get confounded, and the Lord's gonna bring a nation against them to confound them, which happen to be Russia and everybody that's in league with, and that's against America, man. Because Joel tells you to let the weak say I'm strong, so you're gonna have these third world countries or countries America never feared. They're gonna fear them. Why? Because they got them nukes. You let the weak sound strong, they ready to go to war, man. I'm gonna jump to Revelation 18, and Lord, I'm just ending on that. Make a quick point, man. Because going back to the original thing, man, the scoffer talking about you can't use Isaiah 47:18. What did he say? What was his exact words? If you're trying to use Revelation 18 and Isaiah 47 as scriptures to say Babylon is America, you don't know how to read the Bible. And we do know how to read the Bible because Yahweh Shema Shai gave his spirit and taught us through the man that he set up. And you can prove it, man. And you can prove it with context, but, you know, I put out a couple scriptures, you know, proving, and Lord willing, the point was made. Just a quick point proving that Revelations 18 is talking about America. Because when you read 11, you know, we read 11, it tells you that, it lets you know when you read 11 that, this is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Spiritually, not physically, because Sodom got destroyed in Egypt. They stopped ruling. They got destroyed. The Lord destroyed Pharaoh and all them when we parted the Red Sea in Exodus. We read in Exodus, man. So, hey, and that's why our Lord was crucified by the image. So, just to state that, man, Revelations is a book of prophecies too. And it's all prophecies concerning the Israelites being saved and destruction towards the wicked, man. And comfort as well. But this Revelations chapter 18, verse 1. And after And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having a great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. Uh, I'm gonna jump down verse 3. For all the nations have drunk of her wine of wrath for fornication, the kings of earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. And they wax rich. Why? Because America don't really produce nothing, man. They get everything from other countries, man. China being the top one importer of goods, who America do business with. And then all these other nations, wherever they get their stuff from, man, whether it be things like anything, man. What's your scripture gonna say, man? I'm gonna prove that. And when you jump down, it say and it let you know in verse 7 how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And they will, because the Lord gonna confound this place, man. And when you read when you read the hey, so like when you read the scriptures, you understand that even all the prophets, although they was at different time periods, at the time zones, they prophecies and they visions all goes back to America being destroyed, man. Just to state that as well, too, and her plagues will come. And the scriptures say, Daniel 12, it shall be a day like no other. Michael shall stand up. When have that happen, man? It's gonna happen when these plagues come upon America, man. It's gonna be a great day, a day like no other, man. Because the scripture said, man, I'm down. So down verse 11, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Because America was a big buyer, man, getting everything they can from all these other countries. Because America don't produce or have nothing, man. And then I'm gonna prove when you read 13, I'm gonna prove that just with the frankincense alone, that this is talking America. Because if this wasn't talking about America, then the merchants won't be mad because they the ones that be getting destroyed. Because they the ones have the frankincense over there, native to their land. Frankincense have to get imported over here. And I'm going to prove that after I read the scripture. I'm going to show you on Google. We're in the age of information and the scriptures don't lie. Verse 13, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horse and chariots and slaves and souls of men. And these are all the things that the America has brought, man, and do buy from foreign countries, man, countries outside of America. And frankincense is not native here to America, because you can look it up. It is a dry sap of the tree and the Boswellia genus, particularly Boswellia sakar. These trees grow in Oman, Yemen, and the Horn of Africa, including Somalia and Ethiopia. And when the sap is burned as incense, though it have several, and thought to have several medical properties. And this is not you don't see America nowhere in there. So if America, if the merchants, reading back at verse 11, if the merchant of the earth shall mourn over her, America, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. America ain't gonna be able to do business. Why? Because they getting destroyed. And them heathens know they getting it next too, because y'all was right there with the so-called white man. And Lord willing, man, I hope this was edifying. I ain't mean for it to be a lengthy topic. I want to get right to the point, man. Because you could prove that that's Isaiah. Just even reading the context, man, you can just know that this talking about somebody else, man. But Lord willing, I hope I brought out a couple of precepts making a point, man. Because, hey, man, there's so many scriptures proving this madness. But hey, the Lord controls everything. The Lord's going to confound the so-called white man. Revelation 18 is talking about America. Isaiah 47 is talking about America. The prophets of the Old Testament and the apostles and the prophets of the New Testament all prophesied was in one accord. And they're back today still doing the same thing, prophesying in one accord. There's no way you could confound his word. The Most High word shall not come back void, man. It should not. And, man, I'm going to get this last scripture because, hey, man, it really got to come out. Isaiah 47:14. Behold, they shall be as stubble, and fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before it. So, hey, the Most High, let you know they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them, man. And when you read Obadiah, it tell you that Esau is gonna be like stubble, man. And the southern kingdom, the Negroes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and northern kingdom, man, which is Ephraim, you Latinos, Gad, Native Americans, Issachar, you Latinos and Puerto Ricans, however the bad words go, people classify themselves. Hey, you northern kingdom, man. You Native American Indians that's been oppressed, you northern kingdom, man. You confusion of the face that look like other nations, but bloodline go back to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. You Israel, you're a son of Israel, man. You just confusion of the face, man. But your spirit can bear witness and the things you've been through, and the fact that this truth is real. You want to see the so-called white man and your enemies go down because they've been oppressing us. We scattered through all out, just to state that, man. But Lord, we hope this last was edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua. Double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone that the Most High set up according to scriptures, man. Shalom.